at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
Pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Jackson. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jackson. And he's got the rookie from Oklahoma, Marquise Brown. And they can't corral him. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Room here to run. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and show. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams...
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. 19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spelling them in the offensive backfield.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This is the rookie from Oklahoma State, Justice Hill. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger will throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
55. Right there in the middle. 55. Here we go.
This is Ingram, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Black 20. Easy. Rip left. Shoot. Hey, Alpha.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, ball's out of it.
And he lost the football, but it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Watch the screen. No. Off. These two. Big stop, G. Big loose.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Now a man open down the middle of the field. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
Here we go.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10.
Jack 16, 50. Check. X3, 218, chopper.
On first down, it's Samuels. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That is caught inside the 5. And they'll get him. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
Come on, let's go.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check 37.
Here's Ingram. Pushing his way through. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
26 minutes.
Throwing is Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the draw, this is Ingram. And bulldozing through multiple tackles. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
I'm coming after you. 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Check me out. Mike 55.
Jackson from the shotgun. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A 58-yard attempt.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Let's go!
At their own 22-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's the backup Rudolph. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And always sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 44 yards on the ground. So a big carry there, maybe trying to atone for that fumble he had earlier in this one.
Yeah, I know every coach always tells you, shake it off, let it go. You know it's in your head. You want to make up for it, and he did exactly that on that play.
Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. The Patriots, they're out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
48 Mike. All day, dog. 44. 48's the Mike. Check, 48's the Mike. Watch the run.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Hey, look, 48.
Here's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C. The Patriots, they're out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 36-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Ingram. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
I know you felt that one.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker.
There goes Mark Ingram. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as the Ravens push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Possibly a good spot here to take a shot as they come out with 3 receivers to the left on 2nd and less than a yard.
Hey, orbit.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Steelers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now Roethlisberger. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. Still on his feet. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. There's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Now, the intended receiver out of the backfield was Jalen Samuels. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
48 Mike. 48 Mike. Take both of them. I got you. Check.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Think about some of the memorable performances that Ben Roethlisberger has had over the years, and one of them came against the Ravens. He threw 6 touchdowns back in 2014 in a win against Baltimore. And actually, now that I think about it, that was on the heels of a 6-touchdown performance in a win over Indianapolis the week prior. So October of 2014 was kind to Big Ben. On 2nd down, Samuels. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
The 20! And all of a sudden, they're knocking on the door. inside Baltimore's 10. It's a gain of 34. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. This is Samuels. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Might even have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one. But I don't think they're built like that.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Bang, bang, bang. Alert, alert. Bang, bang. Mike, 36. Hey, box truck. No spacing. Twins. Watch 36. 36 to Mike. I'm coming.
They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Matt Judon. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Defense, got the lead. Yeah.
We've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Sean Davis that time on the tackle.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch the pass. Tight into the right, boy. Tight into the right. Move up. 3 down. It's free. Check.
On 3rd down, Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the 3rd now in New Orleans. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
Yeah, this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
36. Solid. 5 down. 36. Don't get nervous.
Roethlisberger will throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Alert! Hey, we got 4 down. Mike, 36. Mike, 36. It's a party now. It's a party now. Watch 36. Here we go. Here's Black.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down.
24.
They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Well, the drive starts with a completion left side, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Ingram. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Check nickel.
Ingram again. Sheds another. He's going to be very close to a 1st down. Good running, but looks like he's a yard short. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. On the NFL scoreboard, 3rd quarter from Oakland. The Bears have just scored, so they add on to their lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Through an opening, and there he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Samuels, 93 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes it 24-13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
We got this. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Buddy up. 26 months. Check. Double tight, guys. Double tight. Alert.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go. 55.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on second down, Roethlisberger. He's going to rifle one deep left. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Quarter.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Well, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. A former first-round pick, Marlon Humphrey, there to get a hand on it. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Pernell McPhee picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Check three. Back. Take two of them.
Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on fourth down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At their 49-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
What's tight? Tight ends right. What's tight? Tight ends middle.
And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And maybe Shane's in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. They lost 4 there, and it's third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
On third down, here's Hill. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles. And it's in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Pernell McPhee able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Go!
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Hey, wahoo! These two.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Man open left side. It's his running back with it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Here we go. Like 5.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
He's not going to get smooth.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Patrick on Wassor. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's Edwards. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Undercrush. 66. Watch the twist.
They run once more with Edwards. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down. This offensive line starting to win up front. You win that battle in the trenches, you can kind of wear them down here late.
So you bring in the second part to that equation, and that's the big running back, the big bruiser who can get more than what's blocked and break a few extra tackles and gain yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
Let's go now. Pull on the base. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Ravens, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss, and they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.